This sounds an awful lot like it could be Iraq War 2.0. I mean, the Iraq War was based foundationally on two problems. One, a lie about nuclear weapons, and two, no plan whatsoever for what comes next. And it's very hard to look at what's going on in Iran right now, where Trump clearly lied about obliterating their nuclear weapons program just months ago, and clearly has no plan for what comes next, and not see Iraq War written all over this. No, we have not been briefed on that in Congress. Does Iran have a lot of missiles that can reach the Middle East, including our troops there and our allies? Yes, it does. It's had tens of thousands of those missiles for a long time. But it seems like what the president is talking about most is getting a diplomatic deal that prevents Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. Well, he had that deal. He had that deal from the Obama administration that prevented Iran from ever developing a nuclear weapon, and he tore it up. And not only did he tear up that diplomatic deal, he stopped all the inspections, the cameras, the inspectors who were keeping an eye on what Iran was doing so that if they ever tried to break that promise, we would know. Well, none of that is there today because of Donald Trump's first term. And now he's putting American lives at risk to undo his diplomatic mistake. Not under the completely feckless Mike Johnson. I think he'll go down as the weakest speaker in American history, and he's not talking about calling us back at all. There are members of Congress, including a few Republicans, who are pushing to have a vote on a war powers resolution later next week. But of course, that's a week late. We should be authorizing this. The president didn't even try to explain that this was just a limited strike. He said outright, this is war. This is major. These are major combat operations. And under the Constitution, that means Congress must vote on whether or not we send American troops to war. It seems that the only person that Trump cares about getting permission from is Benjamin Netanyahu. He hasn't asked the American people. He hasn't asked the US Congress. He just got the go ahead from Benjamin Netanyahu, and now we're at war. Not that I have heard yet. And just to be clear, Gang of V8 briefings are required before any military action. They refused to do that before the more limited military action in Venezuela, for example. But if we go to war, there not only need to be briefings, there needs to be a vote. And I haven't heard talk about that happening. There's no pressure from Republican leadership for that to happen. And there needs to be. I mean, for all the tragedies of the Iraq War, at least George W. Bush did come to Congress and ask for a vote. Unfortunately, too many people in Congress at the time believed the administration's lies about weapons of mass destruction, and they voted to authorize that war, and hundreds of thousands are dead as a result. But at least they had a vote. We haven't even had a vote or a debate about this Iran war whatsoever. I mean, so many mistakes. There's no plan for the day after. There's no strategy underlying what we're doing. He can't even clearly articulate to the American people and therefore to our troops exactly what objective they're trying to achieve. But the most fundamental mistake is that you have to believe the truth. If you're being asked to risk your life for your country, the one thing you absolutely need is to believe that your commanders are telling the truth. It's very hard to imagine being a soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine in the Middle East today and to actually believe that Trump is telling the truth. There have been so many lies leading up to this. Most of all, the idea that he obliterated the nuclear program just months ago was clearly a lie. And so the troops have to be asking today, can we trust our leaders? Can we trust our commander in chief? Do I really know what I might die for in the days ahead?